Alright guys, so this is the big one, the last one, part 14 of my PGR2 Platinum walkthrough. This time it's the Ultimate Series. First race is on the Nordschleife, or actually one part of the Nordschleife. And I'm using the American Saleen S7. Phenomenal car. I have driven it the first time in GT4, Gran Turismo 4. Never heard of this car maker, automaker before, and was very pleasantly surprised just how good it is. Like one of the truly great American supercar brands, in my opinion. Like, to me, they came out of nowhere and basically were just as fast as all the big names, you know, Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. So yeah, I was very much surprised, positively surprised. And I just remembered that the first time I've seen or virtually driven this car was actually in another game before GT4, a few years before that actually, Supercars or something for the PS2, which was like a crappy game, crappy graphics, handling. Had a nice soundtrack though, and I did still play it through. It was one of those games where you could actually build your own car though, so that was pretty cool. But well, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Just enjoy the little replay. Welcome to the next race, which is on the Nordschleife again only part of the track, basically the next part after the last one we drove on. Again in an American supercar, a true supercar, the Ford GT from, I believe it was 2003 or 2004. I also believe that this very model you see here isn't the exact final design of the car. It's just a tad different because it wasn't completely finalized, I believe. Yeah, there was dirty on that as well, although the second one wasn't planned. The first one wasn't planned either, really. They're just too slow. And well, yeah, we're hunting down all the other big guys. Ferrari Enzo behind us in black and blue. The Pagani Zonda S, what a phenomenal car. Left behind the fast part of the track now, all these S curves. I can't be arsed enough to Google the names of the track parts, but we're through anyway. Alright, welcome to the third race of this series, which is, yes, again on the Nordschleife, and yes, it is just the next part after the last one again on the track. This time using a German car to drive on the German track, the test track of the world, the Nordschleife. The car is obviously, for all you car lovers, you know that. For the others, it's the Porsche Carrera GT. An absolutely incredible car, especially when it launched, but even today it's very impressive, specs-wise and performance-wise. It has one of the best sounds of any car ever in existence, along with, I would say, the first Lamborghini Gallardo, some of the later ones as well, but the first sounded the best in my opinion. And Lexus LFA, the normal one, not the Nürburgring edition. And I would say something like Ferrari 360, Ferrari F430, and possibly Murcielago LP640. Those cars just sound insanely good. Yeah, and the 40 and the 50. So these are probably the best sounding cars ever built in my opinion, and the Porsche Carrera GT is one of them. Alright, so the next race, of course, is yet again on the Nordschleife. This time pretty long, I believe half of the track or even a little bit more, with half of the last long stretch straight of the track. This time using the Swedish Koenigsegg CCV8S, I believe it is called, right? With the spoiler attached. And, well, it was of course easy to overtake all the other cars on the straight with such a fast car. 650 HP, if I'm not mistaken. In real life, a top speed of roughly 390 kilometers per hour, which would put it 4 kilometers above the legendary McLaren F1 with its top speed of 386, which it hold for a very long time, from 90, when did it release? 94? From 94 to, well, I believe the Koenigsegg was the first official street legal built or released from factory supercar to beat its top speed, if I'm not mistaken. If you know better, please let me know. I would like to know, but I believe it was the Koenigsegg actually. Oh, I smashed the beautiful car up. It just looks always so funny when it jumps. All its, well, the parts just fly up. It just looks like the car would be happy, you know, would be is happy about jumping. It just looks kind of funny. Like, look at this. If you look at it from the front, yeah, here. Okay, yeah, anyway. So again, from the long fast straight to this very fast section we just drove through, and now which basically continues after the bridge, after we drive under the bridge. What are we reaching here? You can see it, but I guess like 270 kmh or kph, kilometers per hour. And this is the part where right on the right side here, where all the amateur drivers and hobby drivers fly off the track if they participate on a track day. I just how is it called in English? Well, I accelerated the video on this part because, quite frankly, not much has happened except me driving on the track, and the others were just too far behind. Now the next very fast part here, and after this corner especially, this should be it for the race. It was basically pretty much exactly the half of the track, maybe a little bit more, 55% or something. Alright, welcome to the first slalom cone challenge in the game, in this series. And this time is in Florence at night, and I am using the Porsche Carrera GT for the second time in this series. For this challenge though, why? Well, it has all-wheel drive, it has over 600 HP, it's very quick in acceleration, and it's very drifty, which helps a lot in these challenges, as you would know by now if you have watched my previous parts. So yeah, it was more or less the ideal car of this series for this challenge. I mean, the cars in this challenge are fairly well balanced, if I'm being honest, but and it would be possible to beat this challenge, I believe, with any other car of this series. But still, yeah, the Porsche combined with its all-wheel drive, its brutal acceleration and very good handling, which is at the same time very slidey and drifty, but still very controllable in that, is yeah, pretty much ideal for these types of challenges. So 2 laps in a row, again as always. I mean, it wasn't too difficult, honestly. I didn't need too many tries. Like, of course it was still a lot, I don't know, certainly more than 10, but yeah, it weren't too many, like definitely less than 50. No tricky parts in this challenge compared especially to the 575 Maranello cone challenge in the GT class series. So yeah, this is one of those here, one of the easier cone challenges in the game. Okay, so the next challenge is a street race in Florence at night, and this time I'm using a new car, which is the Pagani Zonda S. I've driven this car the first time obviously only virtually. Oh, that was nice. Oh, good braking, yeah. In Gran Turismo 3, but only the standard version, not the S version. The standard version had roughly 200 HP less, which made it quite a bit slower than the S version. It made it still pretty quick, you know. It could beat quite a lot of Porsches and Ferraris, like those in the 300 HP range. But the Pagani Zonda S is a true supercar. It holds its own against, well, any supercar from that era, from up until 2005. Basically, yeah, maybe except the Koenigseggs, but around the track it's still probably, well, not much slower, possibly even quicker than even the Koenigsegg, because the Pagani has great handling. It doesn't weigh a lot, I believe, less than 1.3 tons, which is very light for such a powerful supercar with such a powerful engine, big, heavy, powerful engine. So yeah, it was quite a stroke of genius by Pagani, also a car maker that came out of nowhere for me and just blew my mind how good it was, and looks really good as well. I think it looks much better from the front than from the back. I don't really like this centered engine, you know what I mean, those four exhausts. But other than that, yeah, it looks really, really good, really quick, really cool, just very sexy, stylish. Yeah, and obviously it would be Italian, you know. It's just almost funny how efficient they are, the Italians, with creating super beautiful, super quick and exciting cars. It's quite talent, if you want some, right? You know, there you have Pagani, obviously Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati. Maserati's some of the best looking cars around as well. Well, Bugatti is it's actually French, but I believe it was also in its entire history mixed with Italian workers and influence as well, if I'm not mistaken, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. So yeah, it's a great car, but the Enzo is giving me still a hard time. Well, the Enzo having pretty much exactly 100 HP more makes it a tad quicker as well. Oh, that was such good cornering by me, I know. Sounds cocky here, but yeah, that corner was just perfect. And you could see how much time I gained on it just for that one corner. Oh, this is so tricky here every time on this track. If you're just a little bit too quick, you're driving into the wall. If you're just a little tad too slow, it feels like you're crawling. Not too hard this race, if you know the track well. The car's handling is pretty good, by the way, in the game as well. Okay, that wasn't on purpose by me, I promise. And I believe that were the last parts. Now I'm driving by the cathedral. Awesome, nice. Some drifts at the end. Good ending. Okay, so the next challenge is again a cone challenge, and again I'm using the Porsche for the aforementioned reasons. It's just ideal for these type of challenges. And we're driving through Stockholm in Sweden. 2 laps, yet again. And it was quite the speedy challenge, you know, quite wild. And I'm pretty proud of this run, I must say. I mean, I was very quick on average, and pretty clean. Obviously, clean race bonus after the race. Although that you won't see because I have explained it in earlier videos in the replays, which that is what you see. There's a recorded replay, a saved replay. The game doesn't show that you're getting 250 points for a clean race, and I don't know why. So first lap down, only 1 lap left. This challenge, this cone challenge is a little bit harder than the first one in Florence, I would say. Well, that was close. And there are actually 4 cone challenges in this series, and the Ultimate Series, the 14th one, the last one of the Kudos Championship in this game, which makes it by far the highest count. The highest count in other challenges, in other series, is for the cone challenges, or is 2, and sometimes you only had 1 cone challenge per class, per series, and I believe there were even 2 or 3 series. My God, English, you know, pronunciation is so difficult. Without a single one, without a single cone challenge. So yeah, we were blessed with those in this class. So yeah, we're through with a pretty good result. Okay, let's jump right into the next challenge, which is a street race, 4-lap street race through Stockholm during the day and the dry. thankfully. It makes it a little easier. And I've chosen for the second time in this series the Pagani Zonda S, because it is an absolutely excellent car. One of the best cars of this class, or of its class. Right with the Ferrari Enzo Porsche Carrera GT. The Zonda has great handling. I would say, it might have the best handling in the class, if I think about it. Like, many cars are very, very close. Are very close at every parameter, like in acceleration, top speed, handling. So it's very difficult to differentiate them from each other. I haven't spoken English in a long time, as you're noticing, and I notice it myself. So yeah, it's difficult to say. Does it really have the best handling of the class? I don't know. I would say it does, but it definitely is one of the best. So that's why I chose it. It's one of the strongest cars around a track which isn't very dependent on long, very fast straights. And as he says that he drives on a very long and fast straight. But yeah, that's the only one on this track, and it's much shorter than on the Nordschleife, especially, or on some other track variations. So yeah, it's still quite the curvy track, and this car does fit very, very well. Extremely competitive. And as a hoot to drive, quite honestly, yeah. Really fun, rather easy. Very, very behaved, very controllable. I lost my clean race bonus quite a few times already, I believe, in this race. Yeah, it's the bumpy part of the track again. Just very difficult to control the car, to keep it on the racing line, on the ideal line. I like this track variation very much, though. One of the best tracks in the game, if I think about it. It just flows really nicely. You know, you have here this very long, very quick straight, where you can put the pedal to the metal, and just this very long and tightening right-hander. Then here the difficult to drive, bumpy part, but quite exciting, still pretty quick, you know, nice view on the trains there, on the river. This time without crashing though. Now again over the bridge. Quite a speedy part. Yep, there it was. This is difficult to navigate if you're going really, really quick. And they damaged this beauty substantially. Oh, shame on me. Also nice corner here. Has a nice flow. You come out with like a slingshot with a lot of speed. Now this right hander and going to the very long straight. Over the bridge here and along the river. Ooh, that was bad driving. I probably didn't pay too much attention there. That was just bad. Far too late turn in. Obviously I would crash. Oh, that was good though. Good line. Yeah, over here. Okay, a little bit slobby on the exit. You can even see an airplane with the contrail and in the air. Nice detail. Ooh, that's just bad driving again. Wow. Okay, the part is a bit tricky, but still, that wasn't beautiful. And again, wow. I must have been impatient or tired. I don't know, it's a bit long ago I actually drove this race. That was okay, but sloppy again. Here as well. Well, I still have enough of a gap and enough speed for the straight to be secure from the opponents. Yeah, that's that. So, the next challenge is again a street race. This time from Moscow of 5 laps. Quite a high count. Probably a little bit on the shorter side of the track itself. And this time using for the first time, I believe, in the series, the Ferrari Enzo. You know, the mighty Ferrari Enzo. Now look at this. The first 3 places are the Enzos, and all 3 colors of which are available in the game. Black, yellow, and mine in red. Isn't that something? That was just such a fun part of the track, where you just jump through the gates and drive. Right after that, there's a right-hander where you can slide and drift through. Just very fun. In general, the track design of this game is, yeah, absolutely excellent. You know, very good flow, mostly very fun, very challenging at the same time. And nice scenery, you know, driving through the capitals of the most important, or the biggest countries on the planet. Pretty cool, in my book. So the yellow Enzo fell down quite a bit, but the black one is putting up a fight. Whoa! Wow, did you see that? Nice. Not very clean, but looked quite spectacular. Okay, good driving there. Not too shabby. Second lap, right? Yeah. Oh, I like this corner also, although I wasn't driven very well. Yeah, look at the black Enzo go. Oh man. No, this part is also really cool. Really speedy uphill and the jump. There it goes. Yep. Mostly quicker through there than the AI. And it's on most of the tracks this is the case. There are always parts where you are noticeably quicker than the AI, and on other parts it's the other way around. Now again, jump and slide to the right. That was nice, that was good, that was quick. That wasn't very clean. Yeah, that was okay. Still, I might have quite the big gap, I believe. Yeah, I do. So the Enzo, 660 horsepower in 2002 when it launched, was just immense. It was just insane. It was massive. Mostly developed in collaboration with Michael Schumacher, or in German Michael Schumacher, if you would say it correctly. Well, yeah, I mean, it's no surprise, it's such a great car, and it does have a reputation for understeering a lot, which it does in some games, not all. Here, not that much. It has actually great handling here. It does have great handling in GT Sport, but less so in GT5. In GT5 it was a constant mix between extreme understeer and oversteer, like it was wild. In real life, yeah, it does seem to have an understeer problem. There is this famous scene with the black comedian and actor, I don't know his name, where he crashes it, you know, with such a low speed, where they were filming the movie and they just did some test drives with the cars, just getting a feel for them. And I've seen the scene, and it's like he's braking and turning, but the car just goes completely straight into the barrier, doesn't turn at all. So yeah, just from this scene, well, that was bad. From this scene, it was quite obvious that yeah, the car can understeer quite a lot if you make the wrong moves, if you want so, with the throttle brake and steering input. I believe still though that if you drive it correctly, it is insanely quick, even around the track. So yeah, we're through. Okay, the next race is again a street race, and again 5 laps. This time though for the streets of Hong Kong during the night. Yeah, Hong Kong, I've commented quite a few times on it already. My least favorite tracks in the game are in this city. It doesn't look really good, you know, just a huge metropolis, concrete, a lot of concrete. But yeah, the flow of the tracks, this is the real problem. So, Black Enzo against another Black Enzo. I believe I did try this race with some other cars and just wasn't good. Wasn't quick enough because yeah, I don't like these tracks. I can't memorize them for my life, you know. I don't like the flow. It's just I'm not driving very well on those tracks, so I had to switch a few times the cars and just see which car fits these tracks and my driving style at the same time the best. And yeah, the Enzo came out on top, if you want, so just a fantastic car in this game at least, and in well, probably any other game as well. Even if you compare it to its direct competitors, it does very well. Oh, there goes my clean race bonus. So I was talking about how the car was, or what an impact it had when it launched in 2002, and yeah, it was all about the Enzo back then, and it's no wonder, like, not sounding cocky as a German, but Michael Schumacher did a really good job with Ferrari, even if it does have an understeer problem in this car apparently. I already said I believe it's still absolutely blistering quick around any track if you drive it right. And well, recently I have driven it a lot in GT Sport, and I've done my top 100 cars of GT Sport, hot laps around the Nordschleife, and the Enzo was just too quick, you know, for a car that released in 2002. It was just a monster. I could check which place it made, but yeah, I'm kind of too lazy right now. Maybe I can do it at the same time while recording. But it was definitely in the top 10, you know, and cars next to it should have been much quicker, but weren't. Obviously, it's a game. It's not a true hardcore sim. I know that myself, like Assetto Corsa or something. And it can be very inaccurate, honestly, with a lot of cars. But it still surprised me just how quick the Enzo was compared to its direct competitors in this game. In GT5 it possibly may have been a little bit more realistic. It was still like very dominant, but not quite as much as in GT Sport. Because in GT Sport it drives a lot better, you know, it's much easier to drive, yeah, to drive on the limit. So I'm just checking, and I almost made it through my list. So let's see, where did it land? In which place? Yeah, it was the 8th place, the 8th fastest car around the Nordschleife in Gran Turismo, and its direct competitors on the 9th place were the Lamborghini Aventador, the standard LP704 with a 14.1, and the Enzo with a 714.1, and the Enzo with a 713.8, basically same speed, you know. And the next after one was the Lamborghini Aventador LP750-4 SV 2015 model with a 712.5, which is a lot slower than in real life, because it was, I believe, the first Lamborghini to break the 7-minute mark on the Nordschleife in real life. I mean, obviously they used much better tires in real life for this run than I used in the game. I used sports hard tires for every single car I tested, so I would have like a direct, or mostly direct comparison between them. But yeah, I believe it was still quite quite badly simulated in the game. It should have been a little bit quicker. And in real life, with really good tires, not straight racing tires, they were road tires, but very expensive ones, very advanced ones. It did a 659 something, which is for a street car, a street legal car, to go under the 7-minute mark. And my driving is here so bad. To go under the 7-minute mark on the Nordschleife is just absolutely insane. It's remarkable. It's so quick. By now, many other manufacturers and car models did it as well. The Huracan Performante did it in 647, I believe, which is just crazy. 640 something in a street legal car. Completely bonkers. Just unbelievable. The Ferrari might be capable of doing it, but probably isn't. Ferrari never officially released a time. The McLaren P1 might do it, probably has higher chance of doing it than the LaFerrari. The Porsche 918 might do it, but possibly can't. Porsche did it with other models, the GT2 RS, one of the newest models, I believe. I'm not very sure, but they did it. They broke the 7-minute barrier. I believe they even went as well into the 740s and even beat the Huracan Performante, if I remember correctly. But this was kinda a little bit like cheated, if you want so, because apparently they did use a what is it called in the car, roll cage, and super sticky tires, not straight up slick racing tires, but very sticky tires, etc., etc. So yeah, but we all don't know for sure. We can't always find proof for how exactly they did it, what kind of little tricks they used to achieve those times. It's still, to me, very, very impressive. No matter what tires they used, that a street legal car would break the 7-minute mark in real life is just insanity. Alright, so the next challenge is a street race again in Yokohama this time around. And for the second time, yeah, I'm using the Koenigsegg CCV8S. This was one of those races I really despised, you know. There were other ones in this series as well I didn't like too much, that you have seen already, especially in Hong Kong. But this one here was just the worst, you know. I mean, the track is okay, you know, bad driving by me, my mistake. It's alright, you know, it's fun, it has a good flow, it's not too difficult, but the opponents here, they were just super quick, they were really, really good, you know, like, you had to put some work in it, really. I did try with a lot of different cars again. I was convinced the Zonda would be the best choice for this race, which it wasn't. Then I was convinced it might be the Porsche Carrera GT, which it wasn't. And then I was convinced it was the Enzo, which came very close to actually winning. And the whole time I tried it with the cars I already mentioned. I was also convinced that the Koenigsegg couldn't possibly be the right choice. Like, I thought its handling would be too bad. But apparently the handling of the Koenigsegg is barely any worse than the handling of the other cars. In some instances it's even better. And it has the best acceleration, it is the quickest car. So I tried really probably for hours with the other cars before switching to the Koenigsegg, you see here. And then when I switched, you know, then it clicked. I immediately noticed that I was, well, noticeably quicker with this car than with the other ones. And even after switching, I needed quite a few tries to beat this race finally, because you needed to drive really, really well, you know. Bigger mistakes were punished immediately. Again, as I already said, the opponents were very, very quick, very good, you know. And as you can see in my driving, it was, you know, again, far from perfect, I guess, but very, very quick, very clean compared to most other races, street races I do. So yeah, I mean, I'm not remembering this race with a lot of positive feelings, but quite the opposite. Like, look here, that was a really good corner I did there. That was okay, although that was pretty good because I needed the line here, but here I messed it up a little bit. Turning was a little too late, taking too little speed on this straight here. And the opponent, the black Enzo, is already catching up, which is definitely the second best car for this event, you know, for this race. Look at this. I barely made any mistakes. It was just a little bit too slow for the corners, and it's right behind me. Like here, I drove through there really good, and it just stays right behind me. Okay, that was not very clean, admittedly. Now look at this. I can see its lights behind me. It was a really, really tough opponent, and I just remember being so fed up with this race, you know, so... there goes my clean race bonus. So annoyed, just super annoyed. It was just really difficult to beat. Now here, this corner. Very tricky, look at this. Did you see that? If you move too much to the left, you just crash, lose all speed, lose all momentum. And a lot of time, like multiple seconds, for sure. And in that race, it obviously would mean losing your lead and, well, making it quite unlikely to win the race after even one crash, because it's absolutely not easy to catch up to them, really. As long as one opponent gets some clear air, you know, and isn't in a constant battle with another opponent, he will pull away. They are just so competitive on this track. The Enzo and the other Koenigsegg, so difficult to beat, so difficult to catch up to. So yeah, I almost celebrated when I finished this race, man. It took me just too long. I mean, I really like the handling in this game. It's extremely pleasant, very easy to learn, relatively easy to master if you want so, but yeah, I mean, it's 30 frames a second, it's an older game, it doesn't have the finesse and exact input as the newer games, 60 frames games, where you can really master the handling if you just spend enough time, which I find here, to truly master the handling. Well, in my case, I would need even more time, more tries, etc., etc. So while I was pretty good at the game, I was far from, I don't know, like super competitive levels, which I am in GT Sport. Although I do use a racing wheel with a racing seat. I have the TGT racing wheel from Thrustmaster, which is a phenomenal wheel and super good with GT Sport. And on GT Sport I'm roughly 8 seconds away on average. Well, I would say less, probably 6 seconds slower on average per car on Nordschleife, which sounds a lot on a normal track, which is less than 25% of the Nordschleife, and maybe closer to 20%, so 1/5 of that, so 1 point something seconds on an average track slower than the best players in the world, which again might sound a lot, 1.2, 1.3 seconds on an average track. And actually it is a lot, because you know, losing so much time every single lap, you will get lapped in a normal race of, I don't know, 50 laps or 60 laps, 70 laps. So obviously a huge speed difference. I'm not tricking myself into believing I would be a world-class driver, which I am not. But if you would actually like experience and see how quick the best drivers in the world are in GT Sport, they are just on a completely other level of speed and competitiveness. They are just driving absolutely perfectly every single lap with every single car. It's just like robots, really. So for a normal human being, it's nigh impossible to get close to the speed. But yeah, enough of that. Enjoy the replay. Alright, the next race is with the Zonda in black in Sydney, but is a cone challenge again, and this is the third of the 4 cone challenges in this class, in this series, the Ultimate Series. 2 laps again, of course, and I would say this is the easiest of the 4, probably, although the last one is equally easy, I would say. Quite a tight track layout, which we will encounter in the exact same configuration in a later video I will upload. I don't know if I should spoil it. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't. You will see. I believe it even is the video after this one, or 2 videos after this one, we will encounter this track layout again in a different game mode. Let yourself surprise, you know. Don't spoil yourself the fun. The Porsche here would be again better than the Zonda, for sure. But yeah, I thought for just a little bit of variation, using something else would be nice. I didn't need too many tries for this one. Okay, so the next challenge is a street race. Sydney again here, during the day again. And I'm using again the Zonda. Left the color scheme the same. The color of the car. I can't remember the more fitting name. More fitting English term for that. Paint? I guess, yeah. So yeah, on these tracks, the Zonda was very, very competitive, even against the Enzo, as you can see. But unfortunately, I smashed it up already, which is a shame. It's a beautiful car. I remember playing this game the very first time on a demo station, kiosk station, in a electronic shop. That was, well, 2004 probably then. And I was very, very, very impressed with the graphics, the handling, you know, the vibration effects of the Xbox controller, the damaging model, which you can see here a little bit, the front of the car. It seemed back then, it seemed so very much advanced compared to the stuff I was playing on my PS2. But yeah, at the end of the day, the Xbox in general is the more capable machine. It does have a much better GPU. At least it has much more modern feature sets like DirectX 3.0, I believe it was back then, the newest one. Like it did support true shaders that like we know them today in the most modern games, or actually all modern games, you know, in the PS2. While it was possible, I read up on it a few days or weeks ago, to do shading, like the shaders, shading, you can do shading on every console, but the modern shading we know of today, or the Xbox used, it was possible to do very similar effects and results on the PS2, but the architecture just wasn't very suited for this, and the video RAM of the PS2 was just too small. What the stronger points of the PlayStation 2 hardware were its speed. It had a ridiculously speedy, you know, fast bandwidth for its video RAM, and it was very good at crunching polygons, so its polygon power, even while using all effects which you would classify as not those type of shaders I was talking about, it probably even exceeded the performance of the Xbox slightly. And other effects like this heat hazing effect in Gran Turismo 3 especially, and 4 to a lesser extent, were, I believe I have talked about this in a previous part, but they were the direct result of this extremely fast VRAM. Kazunori Yamauchi, the designer, the main developer of the Gran Turismo series, he he explained it as a write-rewrite or something, or write-read, I believe, write-read capabilities of the PS2, which were even better than those of the PS3, simply because of the speed of the memory, the bandwidth, which just was slower in the PS3, and the resolutions on the PS3, which were far higher than on the PS2, made the problem much worse, because if you display higher resolutions, you need a faster bandwidth. So yeah, that made it even worse. So those type of effects were not recreatable on other hardware, neither PCs at the time, or well, today depends on which resolution you would choose, but definitely not on the Dreamcast or the GameCube or the Xbox or all the other consoles coming after it. You know, you need to have this balance factor between resolution and bandwidth speed you have in order to achieve those kind of effects. And well, the PS2 had the best balance in that of all released consoles until actually today, because while the PS5's bandwidth is of course much higher, it needs to feed, if you want, so the 4K resolutions, and it's just then too high in order to well, create those type of special effects the PS2 did. For that to happen on the PS5, it would need something like, I guess, 3 or 4 times higher, faster bandwidth than it does today, maybe even more. But anyway, enough of the nerdy tech talk. Enjoy the replay. Okay, so let's jump right into the last of the cone challenges, the fourth cone challenge here in Chicago during the night, of course. Because, yeah, why not? Let's make it a little bit harder than it should be, or could be. Yeah, this time though I'm using the Saleen S7. It's an American car, an American city. I thought would be a good match to end the cone challenges symbolically of the Kudos Championship. And yeah, it was a pretty good choice. The car is still extremely fast in acceleration. It is still quite drifty with its rear-wheel drive setup, and it was absolutely enough for this challenge here. And I guess it was the easiest cone challenge of the four in this series. I didn't need too many tries. I don't know, maybe less than 10. I guess less than 10. I was actually surprised at just how easy it was. And it's small, 2 laps, again 2 laps as always, but they are individually and combined pretty small. Not a huge distance you have to pass. Well, that was close. Timing wise, almost broke the combo. That was close, almost hit the cone. And we threw. So this was the last cone challenge in the entire Kudos Championship. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the replay. So the next race is in Chicago again, or the next challenge. It is a street race this time, and I opted for the Koenigsegg because why not? It's one of the better cars. I didn't want to spend too much time on the challenge. And as I am talking, I do remember now this race. Yes, it was one of the very hard ones in this series. Oh yeah. Now I remember. It was not quite as hard as the one in Yokohama I complained so much about. But yeah, it was fairly difficult, really. Look at the our Koenigsegg go. Man, it's just... Can you really see this track really well in these lighting conditions at these speeds? I can't. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit slow in the head or something, I don't know. But yeah, I found it to be really difficult to navigate at those speeds, and the AI isn't affected by it at all, seemingly, you know. They just floor it. Yeah, I remember. I needed a lot of tries for this challenge as well, but this time I knew that the Koenigsegg was probably just as in Yokohama the best choice, so I opted for it right away. Or at least much quicker. Well, that was nice cornering by me. And I love this effect here with the light. It just looks so cool, especially at these speeds. So the game designers really did a great job at, well, everything in this game. This game is generally extremely well designed. In everything. Sound, physics, handling, gameplay, graphics, AI, fantastic, car selection, track design, flow, the music in the radio stations, basically everything, you know. They had online multiplayer with the legendary cat and mouse type of game mode, which people just thought of. I read about it on the internet. I never played it myself, but yeah, it's such a cool idea and such a fun idea. So it gave people a lot of playtime, even without the online functionality, but with it you could sink in easily hundreds of hours, many hundreds of hours. Like here, it's just so difficult to get the racing lane right. That was pretty good by me, really not too bad this time, but again, not really ideal. Like, again, yeah, it's just difficult to find the ideal line on the track during those speeds you're going on the track, and those not ideal lighting conditions, being everything so dark and just, you know, a mesh of grayness which you can barely differentiate. That was nice braking technique by me, overtaking him, letting him in front, you know, knowing full well he would brake too late. But yeah, I should show off less because I don't know. I needed more than an hour again to beat this challenge here. One Koenigsegg goes, another one comes and replaces it and stays in front of me, of course. Same color as mine even. So yeah, this is also one of the interesting aspects of the gameplay and of the AI of this game. They do drive rather often, like what I am trying to say is that sometimes 2 or 3 AI opponents will drive the same car. Not necessarily as you, but just the same car. They are driving the same car. And at some point in the race it gets quite obvious that they have different levels of speed and competitiveness, because some of them will fell down in the race, you know. They will fall off, I believe. Would you say fall off? You know what I mean. They would fall behind, exactly. They would fall behind quite a bit, and others are just so super quick and they just stick with you and next to you for the entire race and just, you know, are right on your arse, and you just can't shake them off. So I have noticed that phenomenon quite a few times. Also, I remember it very vividly in the American Muscle Championship, where they would drive often multiple Corvettes, Stingrays, and the one would be quite slow and the other one would be right next to you the entire race. So that's it. Anyway, enjoy the replay. Alright, so the next challenge is this series' Speed Trap Challenge. In Washington, you need to go through here, and then the next corner you need to take very exactly, you know. Yeah, I use all the space, really, literally all the space to be able to beat it. I don't remember the speed right now, the exact speed. You will see in my next video. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but in my next video I will show, well, all speed traps, basically all speed trap challenges with the speed displayed, etc, etc, so you will see. The Koenigsegg, by the way, is the only car of this class that can actually win in this challenge, because yeah, it is the speediest one. I tried with a lot of different cars. I even tried later with the cars you can win, the three fastest cars of the entire game, which I am also not going to spoil. One of those is right in front of us, the Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR, and as far as I remember, either it or another of the three fastest cars of the game were actually not capable of beating the speed trap challenge you've just seen, but the Koenigsegg is. And the fastest car of the game can do it easily and actually exceed the required speed in the speed trap challenge. But I'm not gonna spoil that. You will have to check out the next video for that. So this race, the next race, is a street race through the streets of, well, was it Madrid? No, it was Barcelona. Yeah, of course. And yet again, I did try this one with different cars. I did try it with the Carrera GT, with the Zonda S, and the Enzo. The Enzo was definitely the best car for this challenge. Oh, look at how quickly I got to him with the Koenigsegg. The CLK-GTR is a far superior car, around the track at least. But yeah, they were just not quite fast enough, even if we were driving really well, and you need to drive really well in this challenge in order to have any chance. And as always, I maximize my speed, my competitiveness in the first lap, complete, you know, maximum attack, maximum concentration, because the sooner you're getting your opponent, you're overtaking him, the better. After that you can be a little bit more relaxed, although I'm still driving very quick. Because yeah, you're racing a Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR road car version. It is, I mean, practically it's a race car for the road, you know. It's insanely quick in acceleration, top speed, especially cornering. So yeah, I do actually believe that you can potentially, theoretically, win this challenge even with the Carrera GT and the Zonda and the Enzo, with a little bit of luck involved if the Mercedes does a little mistake, and if your driving is like nigh on perfect, you know, really super perfect. But yeah, the best car for this challenge is the Koenigsegg, and I still needed, again, many tries to beat the Mercedes. Is just so OP compared to the rest of the class. He did make a mistake. He drove into me and then into the wall. That was not on purpose by me or anything, just a coincidence. But good for me, you know. I could build up a lead, a gap, which I really needed, because yeah, you really need to drive perfectly in order to stay ahead, or almost perfect. And yeah, it was still a fun challenge. At first you really think it's impossible to catch up to the Mercedes, like it's unbeatable, it's just unbeatably quick, unbelievably quick. But as your driving improves lap by lap, you're approaching his lap times, and it just gets, well, feasible. The corner I just did, this right left-hander, is very difficult to get right, technically extremely difficult to get right. Oh wow, look at this. Lost my points and my clean race bonus. I believe this should be the last lap of the race. That's what happens when you look back, you know. Long straight here. Where is the Mercedes? Did I not check anymore? This is also a very technical part of the track. Also very difficult to get just right. And now here, this is one of the hardest corners in the game. Might be the hardest corner if you want to do it perfectly. Should be the last corner for this race, I guess. Yep, it was. I hope you enjoy the replay. Okay guys, so the next challenge is the second to last challenge race in the entire game, at least when it comes to the Kudos Championship mode. And well, as you see, it's in Edinburgh at night in the dry, and I'm using a Pagani Zonda S in blue, and the same I just pushed to the side. So at the front, what you see here in the white car is the Porsche 911 GT1 street version, Straßenversion in German. This is like the original name of the car, Porsche 911 GT1 Straßenversion. And well, yeah, I just overtook it quite with ease, although it is the far superior car around the track. It's incredibly good. The AI seems to have a little bit of a problem with this track configuration, which I, by the way, like quite a lot. I liked all tracks in Edinburgh, when I think about it that way. Just a good flow and great scenery, etc., etc. So yeah, I like this track a lot. I like this very exact configuration a lot as well. And well, yeah, the 911 GT1 street version is one of those free special best cars of the game you get by getting all silver, gold and platinum medals in the Kudos Championship mode. I have been playing through in those 14 parts. So well, the 911 is, I would say, around the track probably equally quick as the Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR, maybe a bit quicker. I know it's a bit quicker in the top end. It has a slightly higher top speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. And I actually do believe that it is this car that has not been able, weirdly low, not been able to beat this series' speed trap challenge, while the Mercedes CLK-GTR was able to do it, and the Koenigsegg, as well as the only car of the rest of this series, of this class of cars, of the rest of the normal cars, if you want, so the non-special cars, which you can simply buy with the tokens you win throughout the championship. So yeah, the third car, I mean, all of you PGR veterans or PGR2 veterans and many others who may have not even played the game but read about it know what is the last car of the special free cars, but I'm still not gonna spoil it. You will see it in the next race, which will be, of course, the last race of the Kudos Championship mode and of this series, of this video, and of my Platinum walkthrough. Although it will not be, I can tell it just now, it will not be my last video, which I alluded to a few times already. I will, to be exact, upload, well, let me count, I believe 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe 7 more videos after this one of PGR2, but I'm not gonna disclose yet what it is. It's just, well, just be surprised. I mean, it's nothing extremely special or anything, although 2 videos I made are very dear to my heart and contain a collaboration with another YouTuber, which is Stribbers Gaming, who has a pretty cool channel regarding Project Gotham racing stuff. He played through 2, 3 and 4 on the hardest difficulty modes and is a pretty talented player. And as of now, which is the 14th of January 2021, he is also playing through Halo Remastered on the hardest difficulty mode. Not my type of thing, but yeah, he has a great channel. So we did a collab, so I will be releasing 2 videos I did in collaboration with him, and he will be releasing those 2 videos on his channel as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna disclose yet what it is. You will see. pretty cool though, I think. Anyway, so this race not particularly difficult, honestly, not even with the Zonda, although the Zonda fits very well with this track configuration and the opponents. Yeah, but I still think it would be rather easily doable with the Porsche, the Koenigsegg and the Enzo as well, and possibly even the Saleen. And yeah, there we go. Second to last race done. Have fun with the replay. So guys, this is the big one now, the last one, the last race of the game, of the Kudos Championship mode of my playthrough, and of this video. And of course it would be on the Nordschleife, and of course it would be 2 full laps. The first time in the game we're doing full laps on this track in this game, and of course it would be 2 and not just 1. And 1 is long enough as is, because this track is what? In this configuration, over 20 kilometers, right? Almost 21 kilometers, I believe, which equals to, what is it, roughly 14 miles or something? Yeah, so it's extremely long still. So, first car down, which was, what? I forgot, Saleen or Pagani? Didn't pay attention. And the next car is Porsche Carrera GT we're driving as well as what we do in black. Oh, there was the Koenigsegg we took the first car. Okay, nice. And the next one should be, oh, the Mercedes CLK-GTR. Made a few mistakes, it seems. The AI tends to do quite a lot of mistakes on this track, generally. So yeah. So the next one is the silver Pagani Zonda S. Let's see how long that will take. Now comes this very high-speed part. Full throttle in this game, in real life, and in our racing games, like not even close. You can go there with 180 kilometers per hour in GT Sport, and here you can just like 280. Oh, and the Enzo, Black Enzo made a mistake. Past the Zonda, full throttle, no braking, no lifting, no problem. With like over 300 km/h through this corner in GT Sport, it would be like maximum 230, rather 220. So yeah, you can take those corners with 100 km/h more in this game than in GT Sport. So here I fast forwarded again a little bit, because this race is very long and I don't want you to get bored too much. And well, the distances between each car on this track get just really big. So I don't know if it was, like, let's say obvious or not, but my driving was actually really good so far, and as you can see, the Enzo is still keeping up quite well with me, which makes sense again, because it is the second best car of this class, maybe even still the best car of the normal cars, like if you exclude the 3 special cars, which is the CLK-GTR, the 911 GT1 street version, the third car we're still going to see, because yeah, obviously it is like the end boss, you know, the nemesis of this game and in this race, the last car we need to overtake in order to win the championship, and to win this race. So now comes the high-speed part again, and here the AI also tends to do quite often at least one mistake. They get on the grass, and if you get on the grass in this game, you're losing a lot of speed, a lot of time, especially on this part here, where you like take all the momentum and carry it for such a long time. You're losing all the speed, you know, and you're losing a lot of it and a lot of time if you're going onto the grass. And there it happened again with the car in front. So the white one is the 911 GT1 street version, and the other car that's been overtaken now, the nemesis, is the TVR Cerbera Speed 12. This completely insane bonkers car. And well, we were just lucky that it made the mistake, you know. Oh, the 911 just so bad what he did there. Far too slow. I needed to push him to the side in order not to be overtaken by the TVR. Almost spun it out, always spun myself out. But luckily stayed in front. And the TVR, man, this thing is just so ridiculously quick in a straight line and acceleration and top speed, top end. and extremely quick through the corners as well. It weighs only at 1 ton, I believe exactly 1 ton, 1000 kilogram in LBS or pounds. Is it pounds? I'm not sure how much that would be. But it still overtook us, which sucks. And like I don't know if you can see it, but that was intense racing, really intense. I was on the edge the entire time, and I really gave it all, you know. I really gave it all. Hunting down a TVR Speed 12 with a Carrera GT is not the easiest task to do, although of course the Carrera GT itself is a very impressively quick car, but you know, the TVR Speed 12 is just something else. And here it made a little mistake. I unfortunately had the wrong line. Now it, luckily for me, went on the grass again, and I could finally pass it for good. Although you know what comes now in 2 corners, the long, very quick straight. And look what I'm doing, so stupid. I'm doing the mistake right before the straightaway and lose quite a bit of time here. If I wouldn't have lost the time you've just seen in the corner, I might have stayed in front on the straight, although probably not even then, but now I'm going to be overtaken by it even quicker. I tried to block it. I knew I must block it in order to have any chance in this race, and it just passed me. But look what it did. It did brake, and I don't know why. And now, well, I had to use the dirty tactics. Yep, I spun it pretty badly at the end of the straight, so it lost an incredible amount of time, and I just flew by. But yeah, this was the only realistic chance for me to win this race, because yes, I did try, if really multiple hours, for a few hours, I believe 4 hours or something, to win this race with the Porsche. Why? It was pretty important to me to win the last race of the game on the German track with the German car of this game. Well, to me it is the Carrera GT, not even the 911 GT1, although the 911 GT1 is the better car. But the Carrera GT is my favorite car in the game, possibly. It sounds amazing, drives amazing. So yeah, the GT1 though is right on my toes. And look what happens here. The car gets weirdly thrown to the side, and I couldn't control it. I just couldn't control it. This was the best I was able to do as a reaction to that. And I almost lost it, almost spun, but lost an incredible amount of speed and time right again before this long, very fast stretch of the road. And just look how far the 911 got already. The Enzo doing the stupid mistake once again on the same spot as the last round, the last lap. We are obviously in the second lap already. And well, I mean, after trying for over 4 hours and having overtaken the TVR for only the second or third time, but for the first time considerably, where I was considerably in the lead, and this happening to you, you know, this weird jump to the side from the car into the wall, was a little bit disheartening, really. I was pissed and just disappointed. I tried for so long. I really wanted to win this race with the Carrera GT, and now my dream got shattered. And yeah, I didn't know if it was worth it to continue, but I thought to myself, you know, I'm basically still quicker around this track than the 911, because it does a few mistakes here and there, and if you amount all of those mistakes, it loses, I don't know, 10 to 20, maybe 30 seconds a lap compared to what it could actually do. So I figured, well, why not try it, you know, just give it all, just drive as quick as possible, you know, max the car out, and, well, see where it goes. My only real hope was this part that is about to come up, and actually, as far as I can tell, you cannot see it now, but I could see the split times, you know, after each part of the track. As far as I can tell, the 911 made barely any mistake before this straight that comes now here. And yeah, I was absolutely banking all my hope on this very stretch of the road, because I just hoped that it would do again a considerable mistake here as well, just as the TVR did. And I'm actually not sure anymore if it did. I do believe it did a mistake, but it was not enough for me to catch up. I caught up at a later time. Here I maxed the car out completely. Good turn in. Here as well. Very clean, very quick. And I did catch up to it a few seconds, maybe 2 on the straight. But this is where I was much quicker than him, if I did it right. And fortunately I did. I just had just the right angle. Did you see with how much more speed I came out of this corner than the 911 GT1? And now I was right behind him. I was in his slipstream, and I knew this very twisty part here. I was better than him, and there was his mistake, and I could pass him. I literally screamed out loud like an idiot, you know. It was super intense, the entire race. And like, I sometimes have even problems, you know, containing my composure and my concentration, because I get so nervous, really so tense, you know, in such a race, that I start doing so many stupid mistakes. But this time around, well, I was extremely nervous, and tensed, etc. But well, I could contain myself, and drove for the most part actually pretty well until the end of the race, and was able to actually build up my lead and extend it. The music you hear in the background in the race, and not only in the replay this time though, because yeah, I thought it would be a nice touch for the last race, you know. I thought it would give it a little bit more excitement or atmosphere or whatever. So yeah, as you could see nothing. The 911 wasn't inside. I did here even much better than last time around in the großes Karussell. And now the last right-hander, the final stretch, the final meters, and there is the 911 GT1. And here we go. I just won all challenges in Platinum. This series had 19 challenges, by the way, by far the most of all other series, and well, that was the last race. So I'll leave you alone with the replay as always, but before that I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you could extract some enjoyment out of this series, or only just this video, or maybe only just this race, because you do have some nostalgia for it from childhood, when you were trying to beat the mighty TVR Speed 12. And I would really like to know which car you used to do that, to achieve that. So it would be great if you could comment on that in the comment section, and just share your memories of this challenge. Whether you beat it or not doesn't matter. Just share your memories. I would love to read. And well, what else is there to say? I alluded to it already in the last race. I will keep uploading PGR2 videos, 7 to be exact, and there are, well, some special videos are still in store. I did have some nice ideas, I think. So, well, look forward to that. And again, thank you. I hope you did enjoy. And I'll see you in the next one.